I'm Christophe, and we're here at Stix In Time Music for the beginning of our Stix In Time music lessons for YouTube. Today I'm going to be discussing the introduction for classical guitar finger picking style, and this can be done on any guitar, electric, acoustic. I'm playing on a classical guitar, and I'm going to be basically covering the beginnings for finger picking. And if you've never done finger picking before, this would be the way that you would start out developing a finger picking technique. Okay, so for starters, we assign each finger to a string. So I'm going to be, my thumb will be on the 5th string, the A. My index finger will be responsible for plucking the D string, which is the 4th string. My middle finger will be responsible for the 3rd string, G. And then my ring finger is responsible for the 2nd string, B. For this practice, you don't need to hold a chord, although I like to hold an A minor chord because it sounds nice. But you can actually practice this exercise just using an open tuning or open strings. Okay, so the basic premise behind finger picking is the thumb comes down on the A string, then the index finger comes up on the next string, followed by the middle finger on the next string, and then the ring finger on the 2nd string. And this is a basic exercise that every finger picker, whether classical or fingerstyle, this is where they begin. Okay? So, I'm holding an A minor chord. I choose the 4 middle strings because it allows for better control and accuracy. You could choose any 4 strings, but the reason I like using the 4 middle strings is because it forces the player to be more accurate on the individual strings. If you play on the outer strings, then sometimes you can be a little floppy on the outer strings. So we pick the 4 middle strings. Okay? So here's the movement. Thumb, index, middle, and ring. And that's all it is. Right in an order like that. So we go thumb, index, middle, ring. Now the important thing to remember in this is that you're not pulling up on the string like that. You're not pulling up. You're allowing the finger to basically fall across the string. Okay? So, you can start off slow, and it's usually better to start off slow because you're more accurate. Okay? So, we go thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Okay? And then once you've developed that, then you can of course develop speed. You also notice that I have my wrist has a slight 45-degree angle, and I'm not putting my finger on the body of the guitar. It's my arm that's resting on the lower bout of the guitar. So my hand is actually free floating. This is a typical classical technique. Some people like to use finger picks, but in classical guitar we normally use fingernails. Okay? So, let's get started. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Now, once you've developed that ability, then you can speed up the picking pattern. And once you've developed that on the 4 middle strings, then you can move to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string, which, as I've said, with holding an A minor, allows me the ability to then change my bass note. So for instance, my thumb is hitting the E note, followed by the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, and then just by adding a pinky or removing the note to an open D, you can get a nice running bass line, which is typical in classical guitar. So for example,